Robert Capa, one of the most iconic photographers of the 20th century, once said, "If your photos aren't good enough, you're not close enough." But what does this really mean? In this video, I'm breaking this down from a professional photographer's perspective, and I'm going to explore the deeper meaning of what it means to get close enough. Hi, my name is Sean Gallagher. I'm a professional photographer and filmmaker. If you're new to my channel, welcome. For the past 20 years, I've been producing work for clients including National Geographic, The Guardian, and the Pulitzer Center. Here on my channel, I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned throughout my career in order to help you improve your photography. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing one of the most famous quotes in photography from legendary photographer Robert Capa. So we're going to be discussing what it really means to be getting close enough with relation to photography. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to my mentorship program. It's an exclusive online community of photographers from all around the world learning with me. You can join us for one-on-one video calls with me, monthly video group chats, and access to my global community of mentees. And you can download my ebook titled The Camera Doesn't Matter for some quick tips to improve your photography. Okay, let's get started and discuss exactly who Robert Capa was and the origin of his famous quote. Robert Capa wasn't just any photographer. He was a pioneer in the fields of photography and photojournalism, and he captured some of the most impactful images of war, from the Spanish Civil War to World War II and the D-Day landings. He was also a founding member of Magnum Photos, which is the iconic photojournalism agency. And actually, at the beginning of my career, I spent over a year interning at Magnum's London office. And during this time, I developed a really deep appreciation of Robert Capa's work and his philosophy on photography. So Capa believed in getting as close as physically possible to the subjects in order to make photos, and that's reflected in many of his images. And due to the nature of his photography documenting war, he sometimes made pictures at the risk of his own life. In fact, he actually died doing just that when he stepped on a landmine in 1954 and was killed. But I don't believe Capa's quote was just about being physically close to your subject, though. I also think it's about being emotionally close to your subject and the stories that you cover. It's an interpretation of the quote that isn't really talked about that much, so I want to look at both sides to this in this video and discuss this further and think about both the physical closeness and emotional closeness and why these are important in photography. So what is close enough? It's a hard one to answer, but for photojournalists, we're often embedded within the stories that we work on, and that means we're either physically very close to the subjects or within the communities that we photograph. So this might mean we're working within a crowd, for example, or photographing in someone's home. When I was in Bali recently, I was working on a story about plastic pollution in Indonesia and how people are being affected. So to communicate this story, I knew I needed to be physically close to the people and the issues that I was photographing so that I could make impactful images. I wanted my viewer to feel like they were there with me on the beaches, in the heat, with those people. So to do this, I had to be physically close to my subjects. To photograph like this, however, you have to first build up those connections with people, talk to them, make them feel at ease, and then you can start to make photos at such a close range and proximity. So as you're taking photos, you've got to be confident. You need to communicate with your subjects and you need to keep them at ease, but also be respectful as you work. So if you want to take photos like a photojournalist, you have to be comfortable being physically close to people and the action. And you have to have this natural rapport with people. But is a good photo just about being physically close to your subject? I don't think so. I think physical closeness often results in quite powerful images, but I don't think it's enough. And that's where emotional closeness comes in. Being emotionally close means that you're going one step further than just being physically close to your subject. It means you're investing your time and energy into the community and into the people in a way that deepens the impact of your photography. When I work on a photo story, for example, I'm often embedded within a community for days, weeks, often months at a time. So I'm really invested in that community in a way that deepens my understanding of the issues that people are facing, and I hope that comes through in my photos. This means that I'm looking for images that both capture people's emotions, but also collect a broad range of images that tell the story from multiple angles and gives depth to the story that I'm trying to tell. One of my previous projects was about the effects of industrial pollution in India, and I spent a lot of time with communities and people that had been affected, and I tried to capture photos of the resilience of the people who were fighting in the face of environmental damage and pollution. With a story like this, you have to be emotionally invested in the community and the issue in order to really thoroughly and honestly tell people's stories. So photojournalists build this closeness in their image by spending lots of time on these stories. You can do the same when you photograph by picking stories and subjects that you really care about. Pick a subject that you are really emotionally invested in, and think about a subject that you will spend time on that nobody else will. You can go back to the communities again and again and again and build up those connections with people. Build up that emotional closeness that will start to come through in your photos. Getting close, either physically or emotionally with a story, can, however, come at a cost. Let me explain a bit more. So, for example, getting physically close to your subject or the action might be dangerous in extreme circumstances, especially for professional photojournalists. I've been threatened for getting too physically close to certain subjects, like when I was photographing a story about illegal logging in Cambodia and was chased away by security thugs at a logging site and had to flee on motorbikes. Or when I was in India and was exposed to the hazards of photographing in and around this toxic chemical dumping site that I photographed near illegal leather tanneries. But for me, these were acceptable risks as a professional photographer, as the stories were so important and I knew that I had to take those risks in order to tell them. But then there are the emotional risks of getting too close to a subject. As a photojournalist, I try to stay objective when I'm working on stories, but I'm also a person and I like people and I like to get to know their stories, and often I become really emotionally invested in my subjects. This is especially true when I'm working on these stories about environmental damage, when many of the people that I photograph and I listen to have really experienced quite tragic circumstances, and I spend time in these communities and where there has been great loss to people sometimes. So, I won't lie, it's been quite difficult in many instances to be in those communities listening to those stories, and I guess to some level it's left me with some scarring from some of the things that I've seen and heard. But ultimately, the main motivation for me is to use photography to tell people stories about these really important issues. Now, most of you who are watching this might not be photographing issues as heavy as the ones that I take on sometimes, but you need to think about, are there any risks of getting physically or emotionally close to the subjects that you photograph, and how that might affect you and your personal life, for example. On the whole, however, for most types of photography, getting physically or emotionally closer will make your photography better. So, if your photos aren't good enough, you're not close enough. It's a useful phrase to keep in mind when you're next out taking photos, and especially if you're struggling for direction or your photos aren't as impactful as you want. Perhaps not getting physically close enough is holding you back from making those impactful single frames. So think about whether you can take a step forward and engage with your subjects a little bit more to get closer to them. And think about, are you really invested in your subject matter? And think about, do you really care about the issue and the topic that you've chosen to photograph? Because that will come through in your photographs. If you've been making some photos recently and you want some feedback on your images, consider joining my online communities for feedback. I have 2 groups. I've got one on WhatsApp and one on WeChat. To join these communities, all you need to do is scan the QR codes that can be found in my ebook. Just visit my website, download the ebook, scan the codes, and I'll add you to the groups. If you really want to take your photography to the next level, however, consider joining my mentorship program, on which you can get one-on-one video calls with me and guidance to improve your photography. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. And if you have any comments at all about the content that we've covered, leave a comment in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video.